I'm a disgruntled Eagles fan, and we're awesome.
Hey Disgruntled, this is a sad day for the Eagles. Zach Ertz sadly got traded to the Cardinals for whatever the fuck we got in return. We basically just gave Zach Ertz one of the most beloved, if not the most beloved player on the Eagles team, or was on the Eagles team. We just traded him away for nickels and dimes. We traded him to the Cardinals for a 5th round pick and some cornerback. Let me look up his name because he's probably just going to end up as some practice squad player. It's the most irrelevant acquisition for the Eagles side at least. But we got Tay Gohan. He's already an Eagles fan. I'm probably going to just screenshot the tweet that I saw. But he's apparently already an Eagles fan. I love his attitude, but it just, I don't know, it doesn't make up for Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz has been on the Eagles for 8 total years, 4 different head coaches, game-winning touchdown for the Super Bowl, 116 total receptions in 2018, I believe, which at that time was the record for most receptions, I believe, by a tight end. I don't know if it included wide receivers and running backs, for at least tight ends. It was a record-breaking year in 2018 for Zach Ertz, but I think Travis Kelce broke that record a couple years later. But this is very sad news. He's so sentimental. He was there for when Nick Foles just got on the Eagles. When we picked up Nick Foles, he was there for that. He was there for the Chip Kelly entire shit fest. He was there for the Doug Peterson show, and he was there for the early stages of this Nick Sirianni phase that I'm not really loving, to be honest, because right now Eagles are just look at the current status of the Eagles. They're not doing too well. I'm not loving this entire situation. Honestly, I'm getting Chip Kelly vibes from this whole ordeal. How do you trade away Zach Ertz for nickels and dimes? I know that we were in discussion trading him away earlier this season, or throughout the entire offseason, but it never happened because I think we were asking for too high. But it seemed like everything that Zach Ertz had a problem with the Eagles, or mainly Howie Roseman, kind of got resolved. I think it was mainly Doug Peterson, but it seemed like that entire situation got resolved. There was apologies from both sides, and he came into the season full embracing the season, and it felt like we were going to sign him to a new deal for a few years, or it just didn't look like we were going to trade him away, or at least that's what I didn't think was going to happen, or at least for not this low of a price for a 5th round. I know he hasn't been productive the past couple of years. It's mainly been Dallas Goedert, but he's still a reliable source. He catches passes year in and year out. He had a very productive game last night. He had, I believe, a touchdown, and he had 4 or 5 receptions, and I don't know if that was due to the fact that he was going to be traded and they kind of just wanted him to have a goodbye. Dallas Goedert was also hurt, so that allowed him to get more passes thrown to him, but he had 4 receptions, 29 yards, and a touchdown last night. And for this season, he has 18 total receptions, 189 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I mean, those numbers aren't that out of significant, or if you look at those stats, they're not that impressive for the first 5 to 6 games of the season, but they're still decent stats, and he's still very reliable, at least a number 2 tight end that we could probably re-sign for cheap due to the fact that he hasn't been productive, and he loves the city of Philadelphia for so much. But it's really sad to see, and I'm planning to do a tribute video his way in the next couple days. In the next couple days, I'm planning to do a tribute, highlight video like I did to Brent Selleck a few years ago when he retired. But it's very sad news. I don't know why we did it in this climate. I understand if we traded him away during the off season because it made more sense. Stuff was going down between, like I said earlier, with his relationship with the organization. It's very sad to see him. He was a fan favorite. He kind of went in and out of the number 1 spot for my favorite Eagle currently due to the fact just different circumstances, and obviously Nick Foles is my number 1 guy. As for current players on the team, but Nick Foles kind of was in and out of the organization. But Zach Ertz was right up there. He was if he wasn't number one in my books, he was at least 2 or 3 in my top 3 Eagles players that I love, and I feel like Zach Ertz is up there with so many Eagles fans. The entire city of Philadelphia loves Zach Ertz. We love what he brought to the team, and it's sad to see him leave. Getting to the Buccaneers-Eagles game last night, I have not much. I just don't have that much to say on the matter of the fact, just because it's what we expected, or at least what I expected. You know, Tom Brady went down the field. He had full ease. I feel like he kind of let up during the third quarter when we were kind of making that little comeback when we were down 7-28. Then we made it 22-28, and we had an opportunity to seal the deal. But I just feel like even if we did gain the lead, or somehow came close enough like we did towards the end, I just feel like it's Tom Brady. Tom Brady is just going to seal it up. He wasn't going to let the Eagles come down from 21 points in a quarter and a half, or in a half, I guess, because they scored 28 in the first half. But he wasn't going to let the Eagles do that. And I think it was just kind of garbage time points and garbage time yardage that the Eagles got during the second half, because the Tampa Bay defense was controlling us the entire game. That first touchdown the Eagles have wasn't really, we didn't even drive down the field. Honestly, that entire drive was all penalties. We got bailed out on a 3rd and 12 with a penalty that was that made a 3rd and 7. We were able to convert a couple long third downs, I guess. But penalties really helped us in that drive, with a 45-yard bomb to Jalen Reagor that was caught on PI. So it really wasn't like we drove down and actually got those points. And we were stalled throughout 2.5 quarters. I'm watching some replays of the Zach Ertz touchdown on the TV right now, which is pretty sad. Great timing though, but it's just sad to see that this was his last game that he lost like this. But nonetheless, Nick Sirianni, come on, what are you doing? Only having Miles Sanders run one singular time in the first half. I don't care how many points you're down, how big of a lead that you have to climb back and gain. You can't run Miles Sanders only for one rush the entire first half. Heck, for most of the third quarter as well. I don't even remember. I don't know the time in between each carry. But it's just you can't do that. I don't understand the mindset of this team right now. Not running the ball, calling a wide receiver screen every other play. The penalties as well. You're shooting yourselves in the foot. You can't run the ball once a game. You can't have 25 plus penalties per game, and you can't call 30 wide receiver screens in every single game. You can't do that in this league. People are predicting it. It works once in a while. It worked a few times against a defeated Atlanta Falcons defense where no one really knew what your offense was, and it's so frustrating because it's the same 3 mistakes over and over again. We're the most penalized team in the league. It's for the dumbest reasons, like Avery on the Tampa Bay's last drive getting that personal foul, which wasn't really a personal foul, I believe. He was just talking some trash, which is so influxed into the league that you can't have football without trash talking, and that's what Avery was doing. So that was a dumb call, but still, you have to just tackle the player and go back to your side of the field. You just have to walk away. But that was a stupid call. And there was another missed PI call for a touchdown. I think it was against Ward or Watkins. That would have been a touchdown. But the freaking cornerback basically tackled him out of the end zone before the ball even came. And this was just an ugly game. Buccaneers had control fully throughout this game, even when we were making that comeback. I can't come up with any excuses for this team anymore. This is just not our year, and honestly, the first few games really brought up the hopes for the Eagles fan, but for some reason I'm still hurt. I'm still hurt that we're 2-4 and losing 4 straight, or losing four games. 4 out of 6 games. I don't know what is up with the Eagles, but for some reason I had zero expectations coming into this season, but I'm still devastated. I had all hope. I had all my fucking marbles or whatever the fucking phrase is, or eggs in this basket or whatever that phrase is, into this season already. But it's not. This is not our season. And as of now, I know it's only six games, and you can't really dictate a team or a coaching on 6 games. That's so early, and or a quarterback. You can't dictate it only on 6 games. But as of now, I don't like Nick Sirianni. He's not good at play calling. He needs to not he just can't play call. He needs to divvy that. He needs to delegate that away from him and put it on someone else who actually knows how to play call. It's like the Doug Peterson situation where he thinks that he can play calls or call plays, but it's not the case. It's not the case. Just have someone else play the calls, because Nick Sirianni's trash at it. So far, I'm just not keen on it. Jalen Hurts. This is the worst game that I've seen from him this season. Even though he had 3 total touchdowns, 1 passing, 2 rushing, this was the most inaccurate game that I saw out of him. He missed a few opportunities, one to Zach Ertz, which would have been a first down, and then just that interception was really bad that he had. It's just bad decisions. He just second guessing himself. He's taking too long to throw the ball. He got lucky with a couple PIs that brought the Eagles offense down the field. The first one was like 45 yard, and then 50 yards the second one, both on Jalen Reagor. But you have to throw the ball. Like, I'm not loving this team right now. Jalen Hurts is not looking like he has a good mindset. It's getting last year vibes, honestly, with just different people. Instead of Carson Wentz, it's Jalen Hurts, and instead of Doug Peterson, it's Nick Sirianni. I'm just not liking this entire situation. I just feel like it's the same year as last year, just with different people. I'm just not liking it. I don't even like the energy that's created, because I don't know. I'm just getting the feeling that Nick Sirianni is more concerned with his outfit and look pre-game than actually calling plays. It's sad to see, and I'm frustrated. This season, I had zero hope, but I was looking for at least something to get away from this season, where it's not just like, let's look for next season and possibly have 3 first-round picks and put all of our eggs in that basket for next season, and this season's kind of a wash. But I was kind of hoping for at least something to pull out this season that's a highlight, but it's not looking like that. There's not one good thing that's coming out this season so far. I guess the defense is being a little bit better, but they did not play good last game, or the Bucks game. Actually, they did. Not gonna lie, they did. They had a pick. They had a few stops. I blame this all on our offense. I mean, yes, there's a few mistakes that the Eagles defense made, but relatively they had a really good game against a really good offense. It's just our offense is the majority of the mistakes right now. We can't keep up with teams until it's way too late. So yeah, and thanks for watching.